The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Introduction Summary. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, by Stephen R. Covey is widely recognized as one of the most influential books on personal development and leadership. First published in 1989, it has sold millions of copies and transformed the lives of people across the world. Covey's central premise is that lasting success comes not from quick fixes or superficial techniques but from developing the core values and habits that align with principles of effectiveness. Covey introduces the concept of a paradigm shift, explaining that if you want to achieve sustained effectiveness in your life, you must first change your mindset and perspectives. The book is built on the idea that you need to shift your focus from outward appearances and shortcuts to addressing the root causes of your behavior and mindset. To truly excel in personal and professional life, Covey believes that you must develop the habits that foster character, integrity, and effectiveness. The 7 habits that Covey introduces are divided into 2 primary sections. The first 3 habits focus on personal mastery, moving from dependence to independence. Covey calls this a private victory. The next 3 habits focus on interpersonal effectiveness, where you move from independence to interdependence, a public victory. The 7th habit is about continuous self-improvement and maintaining long-term success by nurturing your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Covey emphasizes that the 7 habits are not just superficial strategies but deep-rooted principles that require a significant change in how we view and interact with the world. These habits are grounded in universal principles such as fairness, integrity, honesty, and human dignity. They are essential for building a life of purpose, effectiveness, and fulfillment. In this summary, we will dive deep into each of the 7 habits, providing a thorough breakdown of Covey's insights, practical examples, and actionable steps that you can use to integrate these habits into your daily life. Habit 1: Be proactive. The first habit Covey introduces is proactivity, the ability to take control of your life by taking responsibility for your actions and decisions. He explains that highly effective people do not react passively to external circumstances or let their environment dictate their behavior. Instead, they recognize their freedom to choose their responses, regardless of the conditions or circumstances they face. Stephen emphasizes the importance of focusing on the things you can control, which he refers to as your circle of influence. People who are proactive focus their energy on the areas they can influence, such as their own attitudes, behaviors, and decisions. In contrast, those who are reactive tend to focus on external circumstances beyond their control, what Covey calls the circle of concern. These people often feel powerless and blame others or outside events for their problems. Proactivity is not just about taking initiative, it's about accepting full responsibility for your life. Reactive people are driven by their moods, feelings, and conditions. In contrast, proactive people base their actions on values rather than emotions. They make conscious decisions rather than reacting automatically to situations. Example: Stephen Covey uses the powerful example of Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor who maintained his sense of personal freedom and responsibility even in a Nazi concentration camp. Frankl's ability to choose his response to his circumstances, despite the extreme suffering and lack of control, illustrates the core of being proactive. He recognized that while he couldn't control the external environment, he had full control over how he reacted to it, which gave him a sense of dignity and purpose even in the face of unimaginable hardship. Action for Habit 1: Be proactive. Identify areas in your life where you tend to be reactive and shift your focus to what you can control. Start by observing your responses to challenges and make a conscious decision to choose your attitude and actions based on your values rather than emotions. Make a list of things within your circle of influence and focus your efforts on improving those areas. Key takeaway: Proactivity is about taking charge of your own life by recognizing that you have the power to choose your responses to any situation. By focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you can't, you can create a sense of freedom, empowerment, and effectiveness. Habit 2: Begin with the end in mind. Habit 2 is about vision and purpose. Covey explains that highly effective people start with a clear understanding of their end goal in mind. This means defining what success looks like for you and ensuring that your actions, decisions, and behaviors align with that long-term vision. Covey suggests that many people live their lives by default, drifting from one task to another without a clear sense of direction. However, to be truly effective, you need to consciously create a blueprint for your life and work toward that vision with intention. Stephen Covey urges readers to develop a personal mission statement, which serves as a guide for making decisions and setting priorities. A mission statement is more than just a list of goals, it's a declaration of your core values, principles, and purpose. This habit is about understanding what matters most to you and organizing your life around those priorities. In addition to personal goals, Covey also stresses the importance of being principle-centered. While many people base their lives on external factors such as money, success, or relationships, Covey explains that building your life around universal principles, like integrity, honesty, fairness, and service to others, leads to lasting fulfillment and effectiveness. Example. Covey uses the metaphor of climbing a ladder to illustrate this habit. Many people spend their entire lives climbing a ladder, only to realize it's leaning against the wrong wall. By beginning with the end in mind, you ensure that your ladder is leaning against the right wall, meaning that you are working toward goals that are meaningful, aligned with your values, and in service to your greater purpose. Action for Habit 2, begin with the end in mind. Create a personal mission statement. Reflect on your values, principles, and long-term vision for your life. What do you want to achieve? What kind of person do you want to become? Write down your mission statement and use it as a compass to guide your daily decisions and actions. Key takeaway. Begin with the end in mind by clarifying your vision and purpose. When you have a clear understanding of what you want to achieve and who you want to become, you can make decisions that are aligned with your deeper values, leading to a life of fulfillment and meaning. Habit 3, put first things first. In Habit 3, Stephen focuses on the importance of time management and prioritization. He explains that highly effective people know how to manage their time by focusing on what is most important, rather than simply reacting to what is urgent. This habit is about developing the discipline to prioritize tasks based on their importance to your long-term goals, not just their urgency. Stephen introduces the time management matrix, which categorizes tasks into 4 quadrants. 1. Quadrant I, urgent and important, crises, pressing deadlines. 2. Quadrant 2, not urgent but important, planning, relationship building, personal development. 3. Quadrant 3, urgent but not important, interruptions, trivial tasks. 4. Quadrant 4, not urgent and not important, time-wasting activities. Highly effective people focus their time and energy on Quadrant 2, activities that are important for long-term success but are not urgent in the moment. These activities include things like setting goals, building relationships, developing skills, and planning for the future. Covey emphasizes that by focusing on important but non-urgent tasks, you can prevent crises, Quadrant I, and build a solid foundation for success. Habit 3 is also about learning to say no to tasks and activities that do not align with your goals or values. This requires the ability to exercise discipline and resist the temptation to get caught up in busy work or distractions. Covey explains that effective time management is about balancing your responsibilities while ensuring that you make time for what truly matters: your health, relationships, personal growth, and long-term goals. Example. Stephen describes the story of an executive who spent most of his time responding to urgent issues, Quadrant I, but never had time for strategic planning or personal growth, Quadrant 2. After learning to prioritize Quadrant 2 activities, the executive became more proactive and effective, preventing many of the crises that used to dominate his schedule. Action for Habit 3, put first things first. Evaluate how you spend your time by categorizing your tasks into Covey's time management matrix. Focus on reducing Quadrant 3 and 4 activities and increasing your time in Quadrant 2. Schedule regular time for planning, goal setting, personal development, and relationship building to create a more balanced, productive life. Key takeaway: putting first things first is about focusing on what truly matters and prioritizing long-term success over short-term urgency. By focusing on important but non-urgent activities, you can prevent crises, improve your productivity, and create a more balanced and fulfilling life. Habit 4. Think win-win. Habit 4 introduces the concept of win-win thinking, which is based on the belief that there is enough success and opportunity for everyone. Covey explains that highly effective people seek mutual benefit in all of their interactions with others, rather than trying to win at the expense of others. A win-win mindset is built on the principles of trust, fairness, and abundance. Stephen contrasts win-win thinking with other paradigms, such as win-lose, where one person benefits at the expense of the other, lose-win, where one person sacrifices their needs to satisfy the other, and lose-lose, where both parties end up losing. He explains that win-win thinking is not a compromise or a situation where one person loses. It is about finding solutions that benefit both parties. To cultivate a win-win mindset, Covey emphasizes the importance of an abundance mentality, the belief that there are plenty of opportunities, resources, and success for everyone. This contrasts with a scarcity mentality, which assumes that success is limited, leading to competition and conflict. Win-win outcomes are based on cooperation, trust, and a genuine desire to create positive outcomes for everyone involved. Example: Stephen tells the story of two business partners who were initially at odds over a financial dispute. By adopting a win-win mindset and focusing on finding a solution that benefited both parties, they were able to resolve their differences and strengthen their business partnership. Action for Habit 4: Think win-win. In your interactions with others, practice looking for ways to create mutual benefit. When faced with a conflict or negotiation, ask yourself, how can we both win? Shift from a mindset of competition to one of cooperation and focus on building trust in your relationships. Key takeaway: win-win thinking is about seeking mutually beneficial outcomes in your personal and professional relationships. By focusing on trust, cooperation, and abundance, you can create positive solutions that benefit everyone involved. Habit 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. In Habit 5, Covey stresses the importance of empathetic communication. He explains that many people listen with the intent to reply, not to understand. They are often more focused on expressing their own viewpoint than on truly understanding the perspective of the other person. Covey teaches that highly effective people practice empathetic listening. They listen with the intent to fully understand the other person's thoughts, feelings, and perspective before offering their own. Covey explains that when you seek first to understand, you build trust and improve the quality of your communication. People are more likely to listen to your viewpoint when they feel that their own views have been heard and respected. This habit is particularly important for resolving conflicts, improving relationships, and creating an environment of openness and cooperation. Habit 5 is about moving away from autobiographical listening, where you filter everything through your own perspective, and instead adopting a mindset of genuine curiosity and empathy. Covey emphasizes that by practicing empathetic listening, you can better understand others' needs, resolve misunderstandings, and build stronger relationships. Example: Covey shares the story of a father who was constantly at odds with his teenage son. By practicing empathetic listening and seeking to understand his son's feelings and perspective, the father was able to improve their relationship and open the lines of communication. Action for Habit 5: Seek first to understand, then to be understood. In your conversations, focus on listening to understand rather than listening to reply. Ask open-ended questions, seek clarification, and reflect back what the other person is saying to ensure you fully understand their viewpoint. Avoid interrupting or making assumptions, and prioritize understanding before sharing your own perspective. Key takeaway: effective communication starts with listening. By seeking first to understand the other person's perspective before offering your own, you build trust, improve communication, and strengthen your relationships. Habit 6. Synergize. Habit 6 is about creative collaboration and teamwork. Covey explains that synergy occurs when two or more people work together to create a result that is greater than the sum of their individual efforts. Synergy is built on the idea that differences are strengths. When people with different perspectives, skills, and experiences come together, they can generate innovative solutions that none of them could have developed alone. Covey emphasizes the importance of valuing diversity and being open to new ideas. Rather than fearing differences, highly effective people embrace them as opportunities for growth and creativity. Synergy is about fostering an environment where people feel free to express their ideas, collaborate, and build on each other's strengths. Covey explains that synergistic teams are able to achieve far greater results than individuals working in isolation. Synergy also requires the ability to practice empathetic communication, Habit 5, and maintain a win-win mindset, Habit 4. When people work together with trust, openness, and a shared vision, they can achieve results that exceed their individual expectations. Example. Covey shares the story of a management team that was struggling to resolve a complex business challenge. By encouraging each team member to contribute their unique perspectives and fostering a spirit of collaboration, the team was able to come up with a creative solution that none of them could have developed on their own. Action for Habit 6. Synergize. When working in teams or groups, focus on creating an environment of open communication and collaboration. Encourage others to share their ideas and value diverse perspectives. Look for ways to combine your strengths with the strengths of others to create innovative solutions and achieve better outcomes. Key takeaway. Synergy is about creative collaboration. By valuing diversity and working together with others, you can achieve greater results than you could alone. Embrace differences as opportunities for growth and innovation. Habit 7. Sharpen the saw. The final habit is about continuous self-improvement and renewal. Covey uses the metaphor of sharpening the saw to illustrate the importance of taking care of yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Just as a saw becomes dull with use and needs to be sharpened to remain effective, people need to take time for personal renewal to stay effective in the long term. Covey explains that Habit 7 is about maintaining a balance in 4 key areas: physical, exercise, nutrition, rest, and physical well-being; mental, lifelong learning, personal development, and intellectual growth; emotional, nurturing relationships, developing emotional intelligence, and maintaining a positive mindset; spiritual, connecting with your values, practicing meditation or reflection, and finding purpose through service to others. By regularly sharpening the saw, you ensure that you remain balanced, healthy, and capable of maintaining your effectiveness over time. Habit 7 is about nurturing all aspects of your life, so you can continue to grow, prevent burnout, and sustain long-term success. Example. Covey tells the story of a successful businesswoman who was on the verge of burnout because she neglected her physical health and emotional well-being. After making time for exercise, self-care, and personal reflection, she regained her energy and became more effective in both her personal and professional life. Action for Habit 7. Sharpen the saw. Make time each week for self-care and personal renewal in all 4 areas: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Schedule regular exercise, engage in lifelong learning, nurture your relationships, and take time for spiritual reflection. Prioritize balance in your life to maintain your effectiveness and well-being. Key takeaway. Self-renewal is essential for long-term success and well-being. By regularly taking care of your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health, you can prevent burnout and continue to grow and develop throughout your life. Conclusion. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, by Stephen Covey, offers a comprehensive and deeply transformative framework for achieving personal and professional success. Covey's 7 Habits provide timeless principles for improving your effectiveness in every area of life, from personal growth and self-management to building strong relationships and achieving your long-term goals. The core message of the book is that true effectiveness comes from aligning your life with universal principles such as integrity, fairness, honesty, and service to others. These principles serve as the foundation for developing habits that lead to long-term success, fulfillment, and happiness. Stephen Covey emphasizes that success is not about quick fixes or short-term gains but about cultivating the character and habits that lead to lasting effectiveness. By adopting the 7 habits, you can move from dependence to independence, and then to interdependence, creating a life of purpose, balance, and continuous growth. Through the application of the 7 habits, individuals can achieve both private victories, personal growth and mastery, and public victories, effective relationships and teamwork, leading to a more balanced, fulfilled, and effective life. End of the book summary. Thank you. Book briefs, simplifying insights, saving your time.